I have chosen Jane Addams for my leadership presentation. Jane Addams and her work ethic inspire me. They motivate me, and they remind me that we can make the world a better place for all. She was an activist, a philosopher, and a pragmatist. She was given the nickname Saint Jane. In this presentation, I will discuss the ways Jane Addams was an exemplary leader. I will give details under each of the 5 examples of leadership. And first, I will begin with the video. Jane Addams modeled the way. She took an active part in modeling what she believed in. Jane Addams was the founder of the settlement movement in the U.S., which grew heavily on the cultural value of personal service, according to L.W. Knight. She was the organizer and mediator of labor unions. Addams believed that trying young boys who committed crimes in adult court was not justice. She insisted a juvenile court be created, which led to the first juvenile court system in the nation in 1899 and was located in Chicago. She was also the founder of the Hull House, offering social and educational services. She spoke out against U.S. involvement in World War I and participated in some of the peaceful activism. She led investigations on midwifery, milk supplies, sanitary conditions, and narcotics use. She inspired a shared vision. Jane Addams promoted cultural differences rather than the fashionable melting pot idea in her time era. In 1902, Jane emphasized the social work profession's social obligation by writing, "Social ethics are not attained by traveling alone, but by mixing on the thronged and common road where all must turn out for one another's burdens." Challenging the process. Jane Addams had a dream of becoming a doctor and helping the poor, but the sudden passing of her father in 1881 left her with an extended period of grief and depression. After one semester in medical school, she became disabled from severe back pain and decided not to pursue the medical field. This decision led to self-doubt and depression. She struggled with the lack of meaning in the comfortable life as a privileged woman. After a couple of years, she grew in confidence to believe in herself and began seeking a way to make a difference. After several trips overseas, she decided she was going to start a settlement house in one of the nation's poorest cities, Chicago. She changed her mind, not her vision, to help the poor. She challenged the process of what was expected of a woman with her social class in the 1800s. In 1906, Addams wrote in her book, 20 Years at Hull House, "It is so easy to commit to irreparable blunders because we fail to correct our theories by our changing experience." Addams had a willingness to not only recognize her mistakes, but also to change her beliefs and her actions so that she does not repeat them. Enabling others to act. Jane Addams was known as the mother of social work. She enabled others to act through her work and leadership in the women's suffrage and world peace movement. Her work as an activist and reformer of the pioneer American settlement movement with the founding of the Hull House created others to take action and be involved. She joined in on protests and strikes right along some of her other colleagues. Because of her vision and start of the Hull House, Jane was a trusted leader, and others in the spotlight wanted to help and take part in the movement. Because of Addams and her friends lobbying for the construction of playgrounds, the set up kindergartens throughout Chicago, legislation to make factory work safer, child labor laws, and enforcement of anti-drug laws, we have some of those laws and unions in place this day. Encourage the heart. Jane Addams showed empathy towards all who came in contact with her. She didn't see an individual as poor, an immigrant, a criminal, but as a human deserving of a better life. She encouraged others to find potential in themselves, especially within the Hull House. Addams had programs she developed within the Hull House to foster communities such as a labor museum, school, child care, community kitchen, library, and a meeting hall for unions. Jane Addams is inspirational. Jane Addams inspires me to be a modern-day version of all that she embodied. She was an exemplary leader. She showed her actions by helping others and participating in so many things that are beneficial for us today. Because of her, we have social welfare. Because of her, we have kindergarten. We have different community programs. And she was really a pioneer in the social work movement.